Dakota, over here.
What conversations about love and dating?
The best. The best. I'm really sad that I won't. Maybe we just only do that?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I'm doing now.
They were Hollywood's most low-key love story until the silence got too loud. Chris Martin and Dakota Johnson made mystery their brand. But behind the curtain of candlelit meditations and mist red carpets was a relationship slowly unraveling. No cheating, no scandals, just two stars orbiting different galaxies, bound by affection but divided by reality. Here's how a love built on quiet moments ended with nothing left to say. Behind closed doors, there were whispers of emotional disconnect.
A source allegedly broke the news to people, telling them that it feels final this time. People started to suspect their split after Dakota's interview with the Los Angeles Times because of her response to being asked what made her role in The Materialists feel different for her.
Chris, the eternal Zen man-child, found peace in quiet. Dakota, fierce and wild at heart, wanted laughter, loud music, and late-night chaos. No Insta posts, no cheesy couple selfies, not even a blurry coffee run pic. That wasn't just privacy, it was practically a disappearing act. Friends started asking, were they hiding from the public or hiding from each other? Turns out, being the chillest couple in Hollywood might also mean you freeze each other out. You can't build a new mansion when the ex still holds the keys to the front gate. Gwyneth Paltrow wasn't just Chris Martin's ex, she was his lifestyle. The conscious uncoupling queen never really uncoupled from his life. Rumor has it, Gwyneth had a permanent VIP pass to Chris's inner circle. And Dakota, she was just trying to find a seat. Gwyneth and Chris reportedly vacationed together, texted daily, and meditated as a trio. No, seriously. Dakota, who's more rock and roll than rock salt baths, was allegedly left rolling her eyes through another Goop-approved group bonding session. Imagine trying to be the leading lady in your love story, only to find out the director's ex-wife is still running the set. Friends say Dakota kept it cool, but the slow simmer of being third wheel to your boyfriend's ex-wife eventually boiled over. One insider said, "It wasn't drama, it was domination." Being a stepmom to two teens sounds noble, until you realize you're basically auditioning for a role you never applied for. Chris Martin's devotion to Apple and Moses was admirable textbook even. But Dakota? She allegedly got the syllabus after the semester started. Sources say she was often left out of major decisions, from holidays to home renovations. At one point, she reportedly learned about a family trip from Instagram. Yikes. Chris's boundaries blurred into barricades, and Dakota felt less like a partner, more like a polite guest in someone else's family photo. One cheeky insider summed it up. Chris treated parenting like a solo mission. Dakota was just a friendly bystander. Add that to Gwyneth's looming presence, and you've got a love triangle with bonus characters. Dakota signed up for love, not a reboot of Modern Family. If timing is everything, then Dakota and Chris were stuck in two separate time zones. Literally. Between Dakota filming back-to-back indies and Chris headlining every music fest from Coachella to Copenhagen, their FaceTime calls had more chemistry than their actual meetups. Friends said the couple was always just missing each other. One's rap party was the other's red-eye flight, and romantic dinners replaced by scribbled notes and WhatsApp emojis. Their idea of date night was syncing Google Calendars, joked one source. And it wasn't just logistics. Dakota's raw, indie edge started to clash with Chris's shiny, stadium-sized optimism. He sings about stars, she acts in films where everyone smokes and cries in French. Cute on paper, chaos in practice. As one producer close to Dakota said, they were always working, just not on each other. She's tequila shots at a dive bar. He's herbal tea at sunrise. Dakota Johnson and Chris Martin were a vibe, just not the same one. At first, their differences were adorable. He'd bring her to spiritual retreats. She'd drag him to underground gigs. Yin met yang, and the tabloids ate it up. But after the honeymoon phase, the novelty wore off faster than a Coldplay encore. Sources close to the couple spilled that Dakota got tired of the sound baths and vegan sushi, while Chris struggled with her sarcastic wit and unpredictable social energy. It was like dating your opposite zodiac sign, said one mutual friend. Fire and water, hot and cold. Eventually, someone gets burned or drowned. The final straw? A silent retreat where Dakota reportedly lasted one day before sneaking off to a roadside bar. Iconic. They say if he wanted to, he would. Well, he didn't. Rumors of an engagement swirled harder than a Kardashian PR campaign, but that ring? It stayed locked in some metaphorical vault. Dakota, no stranger to playing the patient girlfriend role, reportedly waited years for Chris to pop the question. Meanwhile, Chris seemed content playing eternal boyfriend and Coldplay frontman. No commitment, just good vibes and occasional crystals. Insiders said Dakota's patience turned into quiet resentment. She felt like a placeholder, said one source. Loved, but never locked in. And let's be honest, if the man who wrote Yellow for Gwyneth can't write a proposal speech for you, maybe he's not the one. Things got awkward when Dakota was spotted laughing a little too hard at Justin Timberlake's jokes during a fancy LA soiree. Harmless? Maybe. But to Chris, already a bit of an overthinker, it reportedly planted seeds of doubt. Dakota's social circle is basically Hollywood royalty with a touch of chaos. From past flings to famous friends, she knows everyone and flirts with half. Chris? He'd rather be meditating on a hill. Friends said he started to feel uncool, even left behind. One insider claimed it wasn't jealousy, it was intimidation. Chris, the Zen rock star, couldn't handle Dakota's magnetic chaos. She walked into a room and owned it. He walked in and asked if everyone was staying hydrated. They tried therapy. They really did. Sources claim they had standing Thursday sessions, complete with crystals, incense, and a therapist who wore linen year-round. But what started as healing turned into homework. Dakota wanted results. Chris wanted to vibe. The therapist wanted them to breathe through their pain. Dakota wanted to scream through it. You see the problem? It became performative, said a source. They'd fight in the car, smile for the therapist, and ghost each other by dinner. Eventually, even the therapist gave up. Dakota skipped sessions, Chris meditated alone, and the sacred couch grew cold. Some breakups start with fireworks. This one ended with a cancellation fee. Being with Chris Martin means dating the entire Coldplay tour schedule. Sources say Dakota joked she'd seen more of his fans than his face. And guess what? She wasn't wrong. Chris is married to music literally. One roadie claimed he slept with a guitar pick in his pocket and dreams in chord progressions. Dakota, meanwhile, needed emotional presence, not another song about the moon. Every time she needed him, he had a show or a recording or a writing session with BTS, said one insider. She felt like the encore, not the headliner. You can't build a future when your partner's always on a plane or hugging a mic stand. At some point, the music fades, and so did their spark. No cheating, no betrayal, no public meltdown, just two people who quietly drifted like balloons at the end of a party. Insiders say the breakup was mutual, but layered in silent sadness. They adored each other, but love alone couldn't bridge their growing gap. It's the kind of ending that doesn't trend on Twitter, but it haunts you when the lights go out. They were each other's safe space, said one source, but sometimes safety feels like settling. And so, the dream couple faded out, not with a bang, but with a Coldplay ballad.